Colossians chapter 1 and verses 15 through 17. Here it's speaking about Jesus Christ. And notice what it says. He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For by him, that is by Jesus, all things were created that are in heaven and that are on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created through him and for him. And he is before all things, and in him all things consist. Now that expression, in him all things consist, means that he holds creation together. In him all things hold together. That's the way that it's translated, for example, in the New International Version. And so the Bible is very clear that the Creator who is mentioned in the first angel's message was none other than Jesus Christ himself. But now we must ask the question, why does Jesus command us to worship him? Notice Psalm 95 and verse 6. Here is the motivation or the reason why Jesus calls upon us to worship him. It says in Psalm 95 verse 6, "O come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord, our Maker." So the motivation for worship is the fact that he is the Creator and we are his creatures. Worship is due from us because we were created by Jesus Christ. Let's notice one other verse that speaks about the motivation for worship. Nehemiah chapter 9 and verse 6. Nehemiah 9 and verse 6. Here, Nehemiah, inspired by the Holy Spirit, says, "You alone are the Lord. You have made heaven, the heaven of heavens, with all their host, the earth and everything on it, the seas and all that is in them, and you preserve them all." Notice the similar idea to Colossians chapter 1. He's also the preserver, or the one who holds everything together. And now notice how verse 6 ends. The host of heaven, what? The host of heaven worships you. So what is the motivation for worship? The fact that God alone is the Lord, and he made the heavens and everything that is in them. Now, in order to understand the first angel's message then, we have to go back to the story of creation. Because the first angel's message says the reason why you're supposed to worship Jesus or worship God is because he's the Creator. So the first angel's message obviously sends us back to Genesis, to the story of creation. In other words, we cannot understand the first angel's message without going back to Genesis chapter 1 and also chapter 2. So let's go back there to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 31, and we'll read through chapter 2 and verse 1. I want you to notice several interesting details here.